son will say, if I tell him off or have any words, you know, and then I drop something, or he'll immediately say, instant karma, mum, you know.
Very, very misunderstood word, I think.
And I say, look, you really need to understand karma.
I'd like to think of this thing called the Glenn Hoddle era.
Of course, it's not fate.
He was a football manager, I believe, something like that.
And the populist view is actually fatalism.
Where he was foolishly, even stupidly saying that someone born with, educational problems or deformed or whatever, that was the result of their karma.
That is a problematic view. I think it is fatalism, actually.
You can't say that because someone's suffering painful consequences that means that they did something that was unskillful.
Karma just means action.
Literally means actions.
Karma means action.
In Buddhism, karma simply means action.
It doesn't mean the result of your action.
It doesn't mean that, you know, if something difficult happens to you, it's automatically as a result of your negative actions and intentions, although it might be.
It means volitional action, so action that, not an action like sneezing or something, but a volitional action.
It's that our actions have consequences.
And all actions will have appropriate consequences.
Action in Buddhism, though, remember, is action of body, speech or mind. So Buddhism thinks of your mind as being something, a thought as being an action.
So that's quite interesting in itself, in that we normally think, we might accept that bodily actions will have consequences, but we tend to think that what happens in our mind is our own private kind of affair.
Buddhism says that mind precedes world.
We're gradually shaping our own minds through our actions.
The world you experience generally conforms to the mind state you have.
Buddhism is saying that's the point of freedom, that our mind is our point of freedom, and we're always responsible for our states of mind.
So if you want to know the state of your mind, look at the world you inhabit, the friends you've got, or lack of friends you've got. If you've got really good, generous, kind friends, that says something about you.
That's very, very challenging, because, very painful, difficult things can happen to people. And as a Buddhist, you can't avoid that, but you're trying to respond with awareness and kindness, and love and generosity, regardless of what happens. That's a very tall order.
The world you inhabit mirrors the mind you've got. It doesn't literally mirror that. It's not simple as that. It's much more difficult to talk about.
There are other influences, other laws happening.
Like the laws of physics,
Biology.
there's laws of psychology,
Then there's karma itself.
and there's deeper spiritual laws. There's the very law that says that we can become enlightened, that Buddhas can't exist.
So in the way that you talk about karma, it's one of these 5 conditionalities.
So you can't necessarily know whether something that happens to you, you get a cold, for example, you can't know whether it's karmic or not.
So best not to try, I think. Best not to try and work out whether it was the law of karma or one of the other laws.
The thing that we need to pay attention to for ourselves as people living in the world is, again, our states of mind and our intentions behind our actions.